Hello, Facebook family. I'm Lanita Hostin, and I'm excited that you are joining me for another edition of our Teenage Thursdays. And our topic today is simply what to gift the teen in your life for Valentine's Day. That's what we're going to talk about. I got a few things I want to share with you, of course. And for those of you whom I've never met before and you're joining me, my name is Lanita Hostin, and high school parents hire me to help their students stand on their own 2 feet after graduation. And I love absolutely the work that I do. And Teenage Thursdays is meant to be, I call it a toolbox for parents, in which I grab some wrenches and some screwdrivers and some masking tape, and I compile them, essentially the tools that we're using to cultivate basically social and emotional awareness inside the home, which I describe as the NICU, the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit. So I provide or give some of the tools that I lend parents, and then they go and take those tools and apply it to their home. And so for the month of February, we will continue to talk about the topic of love and how it is expressed. And so if you're watching live, you can type in the chat, hey, I'm watching live. If you all notice, I do have a new setup today, more lighting and a professional camera. So we're looking to do things next level. So if I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at a camera and a laptop. So if you're watching, you can say, hey, I'm here. But listen, so what to give your teen this Valentine's Day? Now, first of all, Valentine's Day is not a big deal for me. I've learned that the commercialization of things, which is a fancy way of saying being marketed to purchase or to push to purchase because everyone else is doing it, doesn't faze me. However, I've matured in accepting that. But when I was younger, I looked forward to Valentine's Day. I looked forward to getting like what you call those things, those grams that high schools kind of like arrange where your secret admirer would drop off in one of your classroom, or maybe someone would read it aloud. Like they really look forward to, thank you, Baron. They really look forward to being showered with love. And so, as parents, we have the privilege to shower them with that kind of love first. And I always feel like the need for acceptance and love um, should it should be fed, maybe not completely, but it should some of it should be fed at home. Well, most of it should be fed at home. And so when we think about what to give our teens as Valentine's Day, I like to challenge parents to really consider the love language of your child. I believe we should gift based off of the love language of our loved ones. So if you read Gary Chapman's book, The Five Love Languages, he talks about touch, acts of service. You guys can list them in the comments as well. What's the other one? Gifts, quality time, and words of affirmation. Well, teens have a love language too, and they actually wrote a teen edition. So, what is the love language of your child? And that is how you should gift them. So, if you don't know the love language of your child and they don't know their love language, which is possible, take the free assessment with them and see what their love language is. You know what it's like to be loved in a way that's not your love language. You know what that's like. So let's take what you know and how that feels and apply it to the teens that we love. We assume that however we give and love should be good enough, and they should understand and they should know and they should appreciate, and I agree with all those things. But if we were to take it up a notch with expectations, and if you're coming here to get the tools in the toolbox, then I want to challenge you to get a higher sense of understanding of your child's love language. So, three ideas that I want to share with you tonight. Okay, if your child's love language is words of affirmation, and by the way, I'm always looking for low cost items and or things that are free. So, if your child's love language is words of affirmations, write a thank you note, handwritten. Get some nice paper. It doesn't have to be lined, and take your time and really go into like why you love or what you appreciate about your child. This is something that they could save. You could type it up, but there's something about a handwritten note. I posted the other day on Facebook that if you were to leave this earth today, do you feel you've passed on all the wisdom you have to your child, so much so that they could thrive in your absence? Well, some of the things we leave behind outside of memories are our words and how they were ingrained into the minds of our children. And we can do that on paper form as well. Write a handwritten thank you note. I love you because you're exceptional. You listen. Thank you for being a good listener. I love that you take care of your room. It shows me that you appreciate the things that we give you. I love that sometimes you wash the dishes when no one is looking. I'm looking and I see these things. If I haven't said it in a long time, I want to say it this Valentine's Day. I love you. I love you because you're quirky and you're different. Like, they need to hear those things from us, from home, the NICU, the neonatal intensive care unit. So if words of affirmation, and I feel honestly that could be valuable to any teen, it doesn't have to be their love language, but we all want to hear in words how someone loves us and why. So a love note, that doesn't cost a thing. Get you some nice paper if you want to make it. So I'm a gifter, so stuff like this is fun to me. So what I would do is I would go to the craft store, get some really nice paper. I'd find a nice envelope tied in a ribbon, hide it under the pillow, and then send a text message and say, hey, your Valentine's Day is under your pillow, and maybe with their favorite chocolate. I like stuff like that. So that doesn't cost a lot of money. It's not that it doesn't you don't have to go and get always a tangible thing to express your love and for it to be impactful. So that's the first one. If time is your child's love language, and for most teens, it likely won't be you that they want time with. But let's say they're exceptional and it is, then be creative. Schedule a date night. Like, what can you all do creatively that you both enjoy or that they enjoy? Does it always have to be what you like? What do they like to do? And how can you all do that in the home? How can you recreate a date night? Like, everything that we do to them, essentially, we're teaching them how to treat others. So when our children don't experience love and they go looking for it, and or they make up in their mind what it should look like, before they get to that point, we have the privilege of teaching them and showing them. We call it shepherding them into like personifying God's love. So how you express your love can be through time, like being strategic about time. So I'm trying to think of a creative way, a nice home activity that you can do. Hey, Joaquin. Yeah, and as I was saying, gifts is my love language, so I love stuff like this. What's a creative way? Maybe as you all are watching live, you can type in a creative way to spend time. I know, like, Joaquin, I know you like movie nights, so doing a fun movie night. Oh, so the kids like this whole projector thing. It's like this new thing where you get a projector, you place it on the wall, and you watch TV, you watch a movie on the wall. Like, that's not a big deal to us because they're like, the picture looks better on the TV, but it's the experience for them. Get a little strobe light and Five and Below and recreate the movie theater and make hot popcorn and nachos if the movies is their thing. So that's just one way. But time, like based off of their love language. And then the last one, if they like tangible things, like give me something, or if you heard them say, and this is the indication that a tangible thing is their preference, like you didn't give me anything. Like if you took them to dinner and or you took them to the mall and y'all had lunch and you said, yeah, I had a good time, but you didn't give me anything, that's an indication that they like a tangible gift. My mom is like that. Like she wants something like, yeah, we went to dinner, but where's the gift at? That's how my mom is. I kind of am like that too. And so, what about if you took all of their favorite things and based off of the age that they were, you gave them five, or if they're five, they're seven, if they're 20, you put them all in a box and it would be their top 20 things that they love and put it out a bow on it, and that's their Valentine's Day gift. You could probably get most of these things from the dollar store or Five and Below or Amazon. But again, it's being creative and thoughtful. And one of the things that I do know about teens, they don't always express outwardly right when you do something for them, but they will remember. And so it's a long term thing. It's not an instant gratification for parents. And that's hard because you give so much, you want to feel like, okay, you get it. Okay, you value me. But sometimes we don't get it right away, but it will come. So these are small deposits that we make. And prayerfully, we will see the seed in return in how they treat us as they age, and how they treat their younger siblings, and how they treat authority. So these things, I believe, are transferable skills. Um, a teacher appreciation day and admin day, I think those are other ways in which we also instill gifting or acknowledgement or love expression to our children. So getting them involved in those things. The goal is that we just gift them with all the tools so that one day they can thrive independently. on their own. That's it. And sometimes these things don't cost anything. So we don't have to dish out money to develop them in some ways that are more powerful, more meaningful too, and things that we can be proud about. So as you're thinking about what to give your teen this Valentine's Day, do better. Yes, you can go into CVS, grab a card and some chocolates, but dig a little deeper. Learn your teen's love language and pair the gift with that. And I'm excited to hear if you happen to share what that is like. I would love to hear it. Hey, Miss Dana. Yes, Joaquin said teenagers have long memories. You know how many memories I have? I have memories that my mom does not remember. Like to her, she said that didn't happen. No, I remember. And they remember how we make them feel good and not so good. Just like us adults, we remember those things too. And sometimes, due to our teenagers, lack of emotional maturity, it stains their heart. And if they age and healing is important to them, then they learn to kind of work through those things. But if they age and healing is not like a thing that they're, actively pursuing, then it really does stain their heart and limits their ability to love, like outwardly. And we want them to love outwardly the way God calls us to. Yep. So that's it. I'm gonna wrap up. I always promise to be under 15 minutes. So I hope I gave you some ideas for Valentine's Day for your teen. Just kiss on them a little bit and hug them. I know you already do this, but this is just me challenging you to go the extra mile. So I'm Lanita Holston, your favorite student success strategist. I'll see you next Thursday for Teenage Thursdays.